Good morning, my dear student. I am taking online class for HSC English second paper. In today's lecture, I am going to talk about the most important thing that is very essential for your English second paper as well as first paper. To understand first paper, it's also necessary. So that is the conditionals in English, conditionals. Perhaps you have heard it in your HSC levels and SSC levels. Due to time constraints, due to time limitation, we can't go into the deep of any subject, any topic, you know it. So I have to give a synopsis, overview of the topic conditionals. If we talk about conditionals in English, we can say there are four types of conditionals, and we can call it zero conditionals, present conditionals, past simple, and past perfect. This has some depth meaning. You need to understand it in depth, because at this level it is very it seems to you it's very complex. I think I'm teaching it at my students in the classroom, and some of them can understand it well, but most of them can't. So it requires very careful study. So let's start with the zero condition. You know, zero condition indicates, suggests, or say some truths, facts, habits. For example, if I get sick, I go to the doctor. If you want to remain healthy, you must eat balanced diet. Or if you boil water, it turns into vapor. If you boil water at 100 degrees Celsius, it turns vapor. So these are the scientific and habitual facts, truths, general truths. In that we use in the if clause, that is subordinate clause, and then main clause or principal clause. If I get sick is the subordinate clause here, and I go to the doctor is the main clause. You have to remember that both clauses, subordinate and principal clause, are in the present form, in the present simple tense. If we talk about tense, both the clauses are in present tense. You have to remember it very well that both the clauses are in present simple. If I get sick is also in the present form, present simple. I go to the doctor is also in the present form. Water turns into vapor if you boil it. Remember one thing, you can use the main clause at the beginning, or you may use it after the subordinate clause if. The difference is if you use if clause in the first position, then you have to put a comma after this and then the main clause. But if you use the main clause at the beginning, you need not use a comma in that case. So, if you want to remain healthy, this is the general truth or scientific truth. You must eat balanced diet. So next, I think it's a little bit clear to you. Next we can go to the present conditionals. If you ask me, I will help you. Here there is a difference. The first conditionals has a little bit difference in the form of tense. We use future indefinite tense in the main clause. If you ask me, I will help you. And you know that after this modals, will, would, shall, should, could, may, might, after this you have to use present form. I will help you. Never helps or helped. You have to understand it. If you study hard, you will do well in the exam. This is the future tense in the main clause. I will inform her if I see her. Okay. I will inform her. The main clause, here I have used the main clause at the beginning, and so no comma is needed here. Next example, I will meet you if I have time after my class, like this. So, in the first position, you have to, in the present conditionals, you have to understand that we have used future indefinite. And next, past conditionals. You see that the past conditionals here, if he invited us, remember we have used past simple here in this subordinate part or in the if part. We would go there. Here we have used would, and after that we have used the present form of the verb. If I won a lottery, I would buy a motorcycle. This is the past form of win. If I won a lottery, I would buy a motorcycle. So here I have used would. After the subject, you have to very carefully remember it, would, and the present form of the verb. Okay. So you have to remember both things here, that we have used past tense, past simple, and in the main clause would, and the present base form of the verb, base form of verb. Here you have to remember it. Most of the students make this type of mistakes in the classroom, I have found. Then number 4 actually, this is 0, this is number 1, this should be 2, this should be 3, and this one we will call number 4. So number 4 is the condition where students, most of the time students fail to grasp the idea very well. We have used past perfect in the subordinate clause, in the if clause. Better you will understand if I call it if clause. My students in the classroom, I have the experience that they can remember it very well if I call it if clause. If clause is in the past perfect, and you know the sentence past perfect, we use had after the subject and past participle form in the verb form. We use past participle in verb. That is, for example, if I had known you, if I had known you, if he had known you, he would have called you. Here this is the difference. After the subject I have used had and the past participle form of the verb. Here I have used would have. You have to remember it, would have. And after would have, we must use the past participle form of the verb. Past participle, called. But here, in this case, we have used present form. But in the fourth condition, we have used past participle form of the verb. But we have used here base form, also here base form. So remember it. It requires a little bit more time to discuss about the thing. So by this time I have tried my best to give you some synopsis, some idea of the conditionals in English, the 4 conditionals in the English sentences, and it will be of most use in your life. Here we will use it in the completing sentence part as well as in the right form of verbs. So my dear students, I have to finish here. Thank you very much